Yeah, it's been confirmed that Manchester United will sign Madrid centre-back for 34 million. The two clubs have officially agreed a deal in principle for the transfer, and the Real Madrid man just needs to complete his medical and, of course, his personal terms. That'd be a nice one, Ray. We're looking forward to it, eh? You know, 50 million, well, £45 million move in your personal terms. Oh, hello.
Well, you know, I mean, Manchester United play big money, don't they, in wages, and if he can get them closer to winning that title, then it's all worth the money, isn't it? Ruben Diaz was a great signing for City.
Yeah.
He's certainly helped City, so if Varane can make the same impact at Manchester United, then they might go close.
But United fans getting excited up and down the country. Former City defender Danny Mills believes Varane could struggle at the club. Whoa.
He's had his injury problems. When you look on average throughout his Real Madrid career, only played about just over 20 games a season in La Liga. 10 years there, 219 games. So that's, he's obviously had injury concerns and injury problems. A lot of those games are against seriously inferior opposition. This is not the standard of the Premier League. This is not the aggression, the robustness, the intensity, the rigours of the Premier League. We've seen lots of players come in before and haven't managed to do it. Man United players, Varane, Falcao, Di Maria in there. Depay at went to Man United, Forlan as well, Schweinsteiger, Gerard Piqué. These players could not adapt to the Premier League. Didn't make them bad players. Didn't suddenly say they weren't great players. They struggled to adapt to the Premier League, and that may be the case.
Oh, what a bitter blue. What a bitter blue. Wow.
Well, everybody's got their own opinions, but I think he'd be fine. Look at Ruben Diaz, the way he fitted into Man City. I know Man City have a lot of possession. United have a lot of possession, usually, in games. So I think he'd be fine alongside Harry Maguire.
Join us now to discuss the latest on Varane's move to Old Trafford. Manchester football out for the Sun. Martin Blackburn. Martin, what about that? Talk about putting the boot in, eh?
Yeah, good morning, Al.
Good morning, Martin.
You're right, guys. Yeah, I think there's quite strong views from Danny Mills. You probably remember, like quite a few City fans, that Varane had a bit of a shocker when Real Madrid played City in the Champions League season before last. He gave both goals away, So Danny Mills has probably got that in mind. But I think if you look at the price they've got and the sort of track record that he's got, you've got to say it looks like a good deal on the face of it. Albeit that he's had one or two wobbles in England in the past, so he's undoubtedly, as Ray said there, he's going to strengthen that United defence.
Well, you look what he's won as well. It's fantastic, isn't it, Martin? Look at the titles he's won, Champions League. Brilliant, great career so far.
He's bringing really great experience, isn't he, Alan? I think it's 70-something caps for France, World Cup win, of course, and those Champions Leagues wins with Real Madrid. So and I think the price has kind of surprised everyone. It's £34 million down with add-ons, which will probably take it above 40 million. But at 28 years old, it looks like a good bit of business. He'll be coming on a flight to England in the next couple of days. Then he'll have to quarantine, guys, like anyone else. So it could be it could be sort of next week before you see him twirl his red shirt around his head at Old Trafford. But it sounds like he is coming.
So, certainly, Martin, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is getting backed by the owners, and obviously Sancho coming in. Do you think that's the end of the spending, or do you think they'll be in the market again? And if they are in the market, where else do they need a little bit of help? If they're going to try and challenge City, Liverpool, probably Chelsea for that title.
I think they would like to be, Ray, but I think the sort of message coming out from United now is that if they're going to buy any more players, then they'll have to be selling first. Now we know that Paul Pogba's back in the frame as a possible departure because he's turned down a new contract. You would think he would still raise, even with 12 months on his contract, maybe 40, 50 million. There's quite a few fringe players, maybe Jesse Lingard and Phil Jones and the likes, who could raise a little bit more money. So if they can get a bit of cash in, then I think they would probably look at a new fullback. Kieran Trippier has been mentioned. Atletico don't want to sell at the moment, and possibly a midfielder if they were to lose Pogba, to sort of replace him there. But they've got a squad now, Ray, that really, really needs to be challenging, doesn't it? It needs to put up, whether to say they've got to win it, who knows? But they certainly need to put up a credible challenge and win some silverware, because it's over 4 years now since Man United won anything, and that's too long for a club like them who've spent so much money.
So, Martin, across the city, the Grealish saga rumbles on. Do you think there will be a big City bid in excess of 75 million?
Yeah, I think there will be at some point. What's where we are at the moment? I think both Grealish and Harry Kane are on holiday, and possibly things are just a little bit quiet on it at the moment. But when they come back from their holidays and head back to their clubs, I think City will hope that Grealish and Kane will sort of push for a move, really. And if they push for a move, then that'll sort of get things going a little bit. So over the next week or so, I think you might see those start to pick up a little bit. Although City are willing to play the long game and use the full sort of 5-6 weeks we've got left if needed. But massive interest from City in Grealish and Kane. So. It'll be an interesting few weeks in Manchester.
Do you think they'd go for both or one of them?
Yeah, I think they might. I think they'd like to sign both, Ray. If both would.
If they can only get one, Martin, who would be better for the team?
The need for a striker is greater, Ray. But you know what Pep's like. He loves a midfielder, doesn't he? If you were still playing, Ray, I think you'd have a chance.
Well, I don't think so.
But he does like to sign midfielders, doesn't he? And we do know from his press conferences in the past, he's a huge fan of Jack Grealish. It feels in some ways like Grealish might be more attainable, but ideally they need a centre forward because of course Sergio Aguero left. Gabriel Jesus, can step in, but perhaps hasn't convinced everybody. So the need for a centre forward seems to be more pressing. So we'll see what happens, really.
Martin, just one last one. I've got to be quick. Sorry. Up the East Lancs Road, Liverpool quiet, or is there something brewing there?
No, I think it is quiet at the moment. Out there because they've got quite a few players coming back from injury, haven't they? They've got Van Dijk and Gomez back. At some point they might need to refresh their options up front with the three who've done so well for them. All got contract issues and questions over their age coming up. But I think it's going to be a relatively quiet summer there, and they'll hope that their returning players will get them back to push him for the title.
talkSPORT Breakfast with Alan Brazil. Thursday and Friday morning, 6 till 10. On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.